Greetings. I'm John Jabba here with my mentor teacher, having an interview about geometry, trying to find out why geometry is hard for learners in senior phase. Hey, ma'am. Welcome to the interview. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Java. I am good. Thanks and yourself.
I'm doing good. All right. We can start with the interview. The first question is, what is geometry?
Okay, so geometry is a topic under the content area of shapes and space in CAPS document. It is a topic that deals with shapes, positions, sizes, angles, and dimensions. So its purpose is to help us understand why objects stays upright. One need to understand the relationship between the length, height, depth, volume, and visualize its features.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. And let's talk about why geometry is so hard for learners to understand.
Okay, so for most learners, high school is the first time they encounter math problems in terms of pictures. Learners encounter proofs for the first time. So this is what's happening. What is happening? A proof shows a statement to be true using theorems and reasons, postulates, and definitions. So in proofs, there are no assumptions. You need to logically prove every step process. In other words, geometry is hard because of proofs are hard to find. Sometimes children struggle with geometry because they have difficulties in visualizing how shapes work at different angles.
Oh, yeah. Uh, so I hear you, ma'am. Then how can learners get over the fear of geometry?
Okay, so when learners have a positive attitude, because most battles are first won in their mind, learners should not be afraid to ask for help. And lastly, practice is key in mathematics, in every topic, by the way. So learners should set aside time to practice not just geometry, but other math concepts too. The other thing that can help is to find real life applications. As teachers, you must always visit your Bloom's taxonomy so that you can know when to apply real life situations. So try to relate what you are learning in classroom with the daily life examples can really help learners open their minds to learning the topic.
Okay. How then? How to improve learners' understanding of geometry?
As a teacher, it's not only about geometry. You need to find different kinds of teaching medias, teaching aids. So in this topic specifically, a teacher can use GeoBoss to experience different kind of shapes. For example, let the learners create an isosceles triangle and have them to measure the sides and angles and also to report in class. Have learners to draw geometric shapes with pencil and also writing the properties of the shapes. Sometimes the best way say is to remember new concept. I'm sorry. Sometimes the best way to remember the new concept is by writing. So
All right. What are the common mistakes that learners do when dealing with geometry?
okay, according to my experience of teaching mathematics, learners tend to assume information that is not explicitly mentioned in the question. In another way, they conclude certain things on the basic of how the diagram looks without even applying the concepts that were taught in class.
Yeah. And since learners are having such mistakes, what would be the proper way to approach this concept?
Okay, so firstly, as a teacher, you need to address misconceptions that they have. So the proper approach should be to observe the given data carefully, derive conclusions from the given information, and to use deductions along with the given diagram to get them to find the final solution. So learners need to ask for help where they do not understand the data given to them so that the teacher can explain this to them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mhm.
What tips can we give to learners?
Okay, not forgetting as a teacher that learners have different learning styles, but those are my tips for general. So practice deep breathing to help learners release their stress. Take frequent breaks when practicing. Have the right to have the right tools to study geometry, like you need your protectors and other mathematical instruments. So learning geometry, terms, vocabulary can also help because maths has its own language as well. So practicing more problem solving, more questions can also assist. Yes, that will be all.
Yeah, those are helpful tips for learners. What tips can you give to educators?
Use exact as educators we need to be fun sometimes because we are teaching learners that are different. So using exciting ways to teach include videos, pictures, and also using what is this games. Let learners play games, especially when you introduce the new topic. Yes, because learners these days you and also include motivation to your lessons. This will keep your learners interested in learning. Dynamically explore geometry, get learners to make convincing arguments related to the topic, help them to move from because it looks right to something logical.
Yeah, those are great tips for educators. And then the last question is, what advice can you give me, specifically me, to keep my learners motivated to learn?
Okay, so as a student teacher, I would advise you to keep it easy. So easy learners math phobia by connecting math concept to real life situations, using hands-on activities because there are learners that usually do not like working. So if you keep giving them real life situations by getting them to do activities that will engage them. So also engage and encourage your learners. Use discussions to explore math concepts and understand students' interest. Sometimes learners work very well when they are in group. And also use corporate learning to develop communication skills, teamwork, and to promote deeper understanding of the topic because there's a phobia of mathematics in these learners.
All right, we've come to the end of our interview. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your contribution.
It's a pleasure. I also appreciate the moment that you're having with me. Thank you and good luck with your teaching, Jenny.
Thank you very much.